Hello, everybody. This is JoAnna Sacco, your mindset mentor. Welcome back to my videos. Today we are going to be talking about things you can do to not feel overwhelmed and staying organized. So if you're watching a replay, just say hello and hashtag replay. If you're watching this on YouTube, feel free to share this video with anybody in your life who you think could benefit from some organizational tips. I'm just going to take a second to invite a few people on. So if you're watching the replay, just fast forward about 30 seconds. All right. So this question was inspired by one of our mindset mentoring group members, and she wrote, feeling overwhelmed, super busy, which is great, but literally have events every night this week, follow-ups, consults, vendor events every weekend. Don't want to overdo it, but don't want to miss out on any opportunities. Never know what is around the corner. I literally am living off my Google Calendar, taking it day by day. Tips on staying in touch, organized, etc. So, and then a lot of people actually liked this. So I'm guessing that there's more than just one of you guys struggling out there with this stuff. And I get it. So as a busy mom of 4 kids myself and a diamond leader in doTERRA, like I totally understand not wanting to miss out opportunities, staying busy, opportunities everywhere, and how do we do that? So I want to address this from a couple of different perspectives. So I want to address it from the mindset perspective, and then I also want to address it from like a practical perspective. So from the mindset perspective, what I really want you to focus on is your strengths and what brings you the most joy, and do those things. Because when you're working inside that zone of genius, inside that zone that brings you happiness and joy and excitement and pleasure, you're going to want to do more of that. And when you're doing those things, you're going to have people attracted to you and attracted to your business and your opportunity. So if you're doing things that are like a drag and are making you feel dragged down and not happy and not excited, you're going to be repelling people from your business, because if they can sense that you're not really loving what you're doing, why would they want to do it too, right? So write down that list of priorities and make sure that you're spending the most time doing the things that you are good at, as long as they're income producing activities, right? So you definitely want to be doing all the income producing activities that are bringing you joy first. So if you're, the thing that brings you joy is just learning, you have to take a step back from that sometimes. Hello, Charlene, to do the income producing activities. Otherwise, you'll just be learning your whole life and never really getting to that point where you're making this a career instead of a hobby. So remember, if you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. If you treat it like a career, it'll pay you like a career. So that's what I would do. Step one is I would just figure out what those things are that bring you passion and joy, excite you, and that are income producing activities in your business, and fill up your calendar with that. Second is, sometimes there's going to be opportunities that you have to let go. Because if you get burnt out, then you're not doing anything. And then you're going to quit, or you're going to end up taking a major step back and definitely missing opportunities if you're too overwhelmed to do anything, right? So prioritize and really research the kind of events that you're doing. So vendor events can be really great, but they can also be really not so great. So research the vendor events that you're doing based on past exposure. How many people went last year? Make sure you're asking these questions. First of all, how many times have they done it? How did you advertise it? Are they advertising it properly, so that way they'll actually get a show up? Because there's nothing worse than going to a vendor event and having it be like a complete dud, right? Like no one there. So make sure that you're going to get well-trafficked vendor events, vendor events that are on point with your company. So like if you're, in doTERRA, then wellness, health and wellness type of events, rather than like something that might not appeal to something that might attract the kind of people that might not be drawn to your product. So definitely think about that. And just look at how much you're actually getting back from doing the vendor events. So are you making good contacts? Is it actually an income producing activity, or is it more just something that you're hoping will lead to something? So look for the evidence. Okay, now the second thing that I wanted to talk about was the kind of practical thing for organization. So I worked with an amazing home organizer, but she actually does business and like just coaching type of stuff around organization for business owners. She's also a mompreneur. Her name is Eileen Reed. Her business is Simplify with Eileen, and she helped me organize my activities based on things that I need to do daily, things that I need to do weekly, and things that I need to do monthly. Because I, like you, was feeling really overwhelmed with all of the things that I had to do for my business to keep it afloat, to keep it up and running. There was so much I had to do. I had to follow up with people. I had to answer questions. I had my Facebook groups, my Instagram, this, that, and the other thing. I had to mail out welcome packets. I had to do mentor calls. I had to lead team calls. I had to network with other people. Like there was just so many things. And it was like having a million tabs open in my brain at all the times. Like, okay, I have all these things I have to do, all these things I have to do. And they were always weighing me down like boulders. Like they were like these boulders that were just weighing me down. Hated that. So she helped me to actually see that, guess what, at any given day, I don't have to do all of those things. So by being able to see exactly what I absolutely have to do each day versus what I could only do, once a week. So let's say I have admin type of things to do for my business. Now I block off time on Tuesdays from 9 to 12 to do my admin stuff, right? If there's, things that I have to do for mentor calls, I have to set boundaries with mentor calls. Like, here's my availability, instead of just being open all the time and just not having any boundaries around my personal schedule. A million tabs open in my mind, Anita says. Sounds familiar. I know, that's what it feels like. So we have to find ways to organize these million tabs. They don't have to be open all the time. We have to find time when we allow them to be open, because that tab's given a lot of time to be open, and then we close everything else. We just work on that one tab and figure it out. And then there was things that I had to do on a monthly basis. So I did not have to do those things on a weekly and definitely not a daily basis. And by giving it its own space and its own time and the attention that it deserved, I was able to close that tab in my brain every other time. So then it wasn't this constant pressure of, oh my gosh, I'm so busy, I have so much to do, how do I survive, how do I do this? So yeah, that's the best advice that I have for you, is to just write lists of what is important, prioritize things based on what gives you joy, what is income producing, what you have to do on a weekly, monthly, and daily schedule, and just do that. And then the time blocking, definitely time block and make room in your schedule for certain things that you have to get done. So I wanted to pop on here because I am answering all of the questions from my mindset mentoring group. And any requests that you guys have for specific topics, feel free to message me or post it in our group, and I'm happy to answer them. And if you're watching on YouTube, please watch my other videos, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends. Thank you so much. Have a good day, everybody.